Home Sweet Dome. Your Saints wrapped up their second practice inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome today. I'm Caroline Gonzalez alongside my partner in crime, senior writer for NewOrleansSaints.com, John DeShazier. JD, you were inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome today. How did it feel?
Well, felt like a practice in the dome, pretty empty, pretty similar to what Saturday's practice was from that standpoint. You're just not ever accustomed to not seeing bodies in here for an event, and especially for a football game. But it was a football practice. We have seen the Saints practice in here without fans before, so that part of it they're accustomed to, and the lighting and all those things. Some guys need to get acclimated to that.
Well, Sean Payton and players spoke after practice on their acclimation process inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
What we're going to deal with, every team in the league is going to have kind of an ambient crowd noise at 70 decibels. And so we had it at 70 for most of the practice. And then when music's played, it'll be at 75. And that really is for week one. That obviously can be adjusted based on where this thing goes relative to fans. So we had it on 70, and we had the music at 75.
It always feels good to be in the Superdome, but it's definitely a little weird. We put a little crowd noise in, the amount of crowd noise that we'll be able to be in the dome this year. So we got to get a little feel of how loud it's going to be. Not even close to how loud it is, usually is on Sunday, but it's definitely good to get a feel of how it's going to be.
JD, we are 10 days out now from the first game inside the Superdome. How have the Saints approached wrinkling out game day situations that they're going to see come Sunday?
Well, as best you can, you try to simulate it, and whether that be TV timeouts, whether that be halftime situations, whether that be penalty situations, all of those type of things were gone through in this atmosphere today. What they wanted to do was get as close as they could to some of the situations that you encounter in a game.
Well, head coach Sean Payton spoke after practice today. Hear what he had to say about getting used to those game day situations.
It's a rehearsal, and we're trying to cover every detail possible. There's a few changes as to where we're at in our locker room based on the policies this year. All of these things so that on game day there's no surprises.
Well, it was another day of rest for quarterback Drew Brees, who is approaching his 20th season in the NFL, which is crazy to think about. But that led to more reps for Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston today. Head coach Sean Payton spoke about those reps following practice today.
We get a chance in a practice like this, or like yesterday, where we get a ton of reps for both Taysom and Jameis. This is kind of part of the planned schedule, and we've kind of mapped out when we want players going, especially when it comes to the quarterback position.
Earlier this year, when the Saints drafted tight end Adam Troutman out of Dayton, they knew that he was going to have to go through an acclimation period. No OTAs, no mini camp. Troutman spoke on that acclimation period following practice today.
I feel like I've acclimated well. For me, it was just coming in and getting used to the speed of the game. Obviously, the size difference in guys that I played in college versus, Cam Jordan, Marcus Davenport, Marcus Hunt, like all those defensive ends, we got some big guys there. So just kind of getting used to that. But I feel like knowledge-wise, I get better every single day, knowing assignments and what I'm doing. And yeah, it's just a process. Get better every single day. Obviously, I didn't have OTAs or rookie mini camp to kind of get my feet wet. So just kind of going along with it day by day and trying to get better every single day.
We now bring back in senior writer John DeShazier. JD, it broke news last night that the Bucs were going to sign running back Leonard Fournette after he was released from the Jags. What are your thoughts on the Bucs signing Fournette?
Well, they pretty much added another star quality type player to their lineup now. Here in New Orleans, obviously, we're familiar with Fournette, a St. Augustine High School graduate, standout high school player, one of the best players in state history, and also a standout at LSU. So we're quite familiar with him in these parts. And the Saints are somewhat familiar with him, obviously. They were around here when he was in high school, so a lot of the players who were on the team at that time know of him. And some of these guys played against him last season when he played for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, look, we're familiar with the player, certainly with his career at LSU. It was fabulous. And then I think it was a couple of years back in Jacksonville, we had a chance to play against him. So that obviously is a good addition for Tampa Bay. It's another weapon, another type of runner that you have to account for. And so, yeah, I think we're pretty familiar with his skill set and the things that he does well.
Before we wrap things up here, an announcement made by the New Orleans Saints and Pelicans yesterday. The New Orleans Saints, Pelicans, and the NFL Foundation have pledged $500,000 to help with Hurricane Laura relief. And there is a part for you to participate, Saints fans. Next week, the Saints Pelicans will be launching a fundraiser where you can donate and help relief for Hurricane Laura. So keep an eye out on that. It'll be available on NewOrleansSaints.com and the Saints app.